Hey, welcome to Holistic Healing with the Hair Doctor. My name is Alicia, and I am here today with my beautiful client, my client's mom, Sunsaray.
Hello.
This beautiful mommy grew her daughter's hair back with my help, my professional guidance, and my coaching. I want to go ahead and jump right on into this conversation. Let's talk about it, okay? So you were initially a referral, right?
Right.
So someone referred you, and you weren't absolutely looking for someone like me. Is that correct?
Um,
Or how did you?
I was open. I was open to the idea after I realized that the traditional route was not working at all. I definitely was open to thinking about more holistic remedies.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So this Sunsaray has at the time she was a 9-year-old. She has a 9-year-old daughter who was suffering with severe alopecia. It's a term in which I know with my professional background, alopecia areata. How long was Nyla suffering with her type of alopecia?
So we began to see the first spots in what is it, December of 23, I believe.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
And it started just as a small little spot, and I'm thinking that okay, it's just she had COVID, so I'm thinking okay, a lot of people are having problems with hair loss during COVID. So we began to see like more spots. It was getting bigger, and there were more spots all over the hair. That's when we decided to go ahead and see dermatologists. They did start prescribing topical creams and things like that, and just we saw no results at all. The hair was still falling out. It was still falling out different parts of the hair.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we just needed help from
A different
somewhere.
route.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you seeing the dermatologist, and who else were you seeing? You said a dermatologist.
Initially just the dermatologist.
Okay.
Yeah. We were seeing, let's see, maybe a few months. We were going back every so often. I think it was maybe every month, but still no results. Still nothing new to conclude, nothing new to add.
Okay. And so would you say the dermatologist gave her the diagnosis? Did she actually give her a diagnosis?
Yes, they did.
And what was the diagnosis?
The diagnosis was alopecia.
Okay. And then after you went to the derm, who did you go to next?
I think that was it. We heard about your services.
Okay. So once you guys came in to the health and wellness evaluation, you came in with Nyla, her dad, and her grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And her grandfather wasn't too privy of my approach, right?
Oh.
He was very skeptical, and he tried to give me a run for my money, which I love. I love skepticism. My approach is through functional medicine. It's a holistic route through nutrition, labs, lifestyle changes, modifications, coaching and mentoring. And when I explained to you guys within the evaluation, what did you feel was the best route for Nyla at that time?
Well, at the time we were just gonna go ahead with. We were willing. I was so willing to just try anything because we were not getting anywhere with the traditional route. So, I was open. You did explain a lot of the things that you were doing, and I was just like, it can't hurt.
Yeah, well, no.
And at the time, I was definitely into more holistic, things, more holistic routes. So
Okay.
I was definitely willing to try it.
So were you aware of functional medicine when I was explaining it?
I wasn't at all.
Okay. Nobody was, and that's where Grandpa was like, what is this?
Well, yeah, he was older and back in
Yes.
his time, so he was not buying it.
Yeah. Gotcha. So what would you say was the hardest part moving forward with my program and my help? Let's start with the hard part. What was the hardest part?
The lifestyle changes, of course. We spent so much time eating a certain diet and living a certain way, and that was the hardest thing, trying to make those changes and implement the new things into our lifestyle. So the diet, of course, was really hard, especially with children. And
Yes.
She was a picky eater.
Yes.
So many different things she would not try, she would not eat. But I also began to introduce new fruits and vegetables and things like that that she would try. So getting her into a good routine,
Yes.
that was also
Yes.
a big help. And then having that support from her, her dad and her other family, that helped too.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a good routine, and they were working with me with her diet. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest challenges, was the lifestyle change. But once we got to a routine, then everything began to flow from there.
Okay. Okay. So I do offer weekly coaching when you work with me. How would you say the weekly coaching and the bi-weekly coaching sessions that we had with modifying, we modified every week or bi-weekly, how do you feel like that helped or did not help?
I thought that it was just like it helped because it helped like me, I don't know, I guess it was like a check-in like
Yes.
that. So the check-ins were good because it helped me to, I guess, figure out if I was on the right track or on the right page, and if I needed more help, that I could ask you those questions. And
Yes.
but I mean, it was a good help. It helped.
So would you say it was great accountability, me holding you guys accountable?
I mean, well, yeah, of course. Especially since I was, doing a lot of the leg work.
Yes.
So, but it was definitely good having you there to be able to do that coaching and let me know and you were really good at letting me know that I was doing a good job and that I was on the right track. So that was really kind of what helped me, push me, and kept me going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So.
That's a big part of my program. I stress that to anybody that work with me. I am going to make sure that you do your best, even when you feel your worst or you don't feel like doing anything at all. What was the best part? What was your favorite part? You or Nyla's favorite part about this journey of healing?
Well, I would say as a child, I didn't have many fun parts. She didn't like the exercise, and she didn't like the diet changes. She didn't like the food. She didn't like the changes.
Yes.
But,
who does, right?
I think the favorite part about the whole experience was knowing my limitations and knowing what I could do if I put my mind toward it and I followed certain steps, and seeing the hair growth the proof is in the pudding.
Yes.
So I knew I was doing exactly what I needed to do, and that was the proof, was her hair growth. Dermatologist said they said it wasn't going to grow back. She was not going to get that hair back. We didn't think it was going to grow back either. We were actually started looking for the next step, like, hey, okay, if the hair doesn't grow back, what are we going to do? Luckily with the program, didn't have to worry about that. It grew back, and so we're just going to keep up with this, and I'm sure we'll see like more growth in it, healthier, longer, fuller hair. So.
Absolutely. That is so good. With the dermatologist snatching the hope from the entire family, I'm sure, saying that her hair will not grow back. With her being only 9 years old at the time, how hopeless did you guys feel? How hopeless did that make you feel? And then the second question, the follow-up question is, when you came and sat down with me for a full 1 hour health and wellness evaluation, and I told you her hair is going to grow back. I said that with confidence. I said her hair is going to come all the way back.
No, you did. You did.
Everything in my blood and my DNA knew that just from experience. So yes, go ahead.
So with the dermatologist, it really did seem completely hopeless. They were not giving any answers. They were just, this is how it is. This is how it usually goes. And if it's going to grow back, it'll grow back. It was just no answers, nothing. And I think for her dad, he's not into, the holistic and the healing. So he was kind of just going with whatever the doctor said. So that kind of put a strain on. We didn't know the next move. I wanted to go this route. He wanted to stick with what the dermatologist is saying. And I'm just like, that doesn't seem like the best route. I know there's something else can be done. You can't tell me that there's nothing to be done. And all the medications and all the things that you're doing, none of it is working.
Right.
There's got to be another approach.
Absolutely.
So sitting down with that consultation with you, the evaluation with you, and, explaining a lot of those things, I did have hope. And like I said, I was already into the idea of holistic medicine and things like that. And I very sure of the things that can happen once you change your lifestyle and your diet and start implementing certain things. So I was hopeful. I was like, okay. And then furthermore, we don't have anything else to lose.
Yes.
Like, she could lose her whole hair, or what's the worst? It could grow back a little bit, or it could grow back a lot.
Yes.
The options that the dermatologists were giving us were nothing. So I had nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask this question, because I'm a certified functional medicine nutritionist, and you said at the time you were also seeing a registered dietitian, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys were seeing the dietitian before me, and with seeing the dietitian, were you getting any results with the dietitian?
No, everything was pretty. Everything seemed so standard, very basic, and it didn't seem like it wasn't just catered to her. And I felt like that was something that we needed. But everything was just everything the dietitian was saying. So things that we already know. Oh, let's change diet. Let's eat healthier. This and let's do things like that. But the difference between the nutritionist and your program, everything was personalized for her, and I think that was something we really needed, and it helped.
Yes.
So
that's functional medicine for you, not the toot functional medicine's horn, toot toot. But also, we did not run labs. We did not run one blood lab. So of course, that's a staple in my practice. It's not the end all be all. Everybody that comes to me know that labs are just a small piece of the pie, very small piece of the pie. And that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But did you wonder how you started getting fast results and the type of results that you did without me even understanding your child's biology, her chemistry, her biochemistry, all of that? I knew nothing about her internal organs, her health. I only knew what you told me. So with me not running labs, and I told you, sooner or later I do want to run labs, so I can give her more targeted help. But I have a specialized training. I have a specific type of training where I can help without labs. So tell me how that made you feel when, like, you're going to doctors and they're running all these labs, still not getting any results. You came to me, I listened to you, active listening, right? And so much more. And we got results without labs. How did that make you feel? What did that do to your mindset about what you've been doing versus what has happened?
I don't know. I think that it just made me feel hopeful, and I was like, I think it spoke volumes to just your level of professionalism and your knowledge. Because the things that we started implementing were things that you were already like, okay, these are the things we're going to implement. Not even knowing, like you said, her bloods and her labs. So those things were working. Imagine if we were able to get those labs and able to get her in a very personalized plan, then the outcome will be, even greater than it is now.
Right. You guys did an amazing job. So with these results, these amazing results, as you guys have already seen with the pictures, Mom did this work. She did this. Mom, I coached her. I guided her. I mentored her on a weekly to bi-weekly basis throughout the months and the time that we were together. I never once put my hands on Ms. Nyla. She's never sat in my chair for any service. The most I've done with touching her was moving her hair around so I can take those pictures. Now, normally when people come to me and they join my program, we're doing everything you said, plus some more, plus they're clinically in my chair with my modalities and everything else that I do. But with me not touching her and me giving you what to do at home, how do you, tell me your experience with the products. So she got a bundle, a package of products of my homemade. I hate the word homemade. It sounds ghetto. But I make my own products. Of course, most people know that they're all herbal, organic. They're very clean and they're basic. It don't have 1,000 ingredients in it. It maybe have 3 to 4, maybe 5 to 6. Long story short, I tailored her a package to her specific needs. I gave her a protocol to follow that she could read. And tell me how that went with you guys.
The protocol was great. First of all, I love the products, and I could tell I could tell by her hair growth how the products were working. So I wanted to use them on myself. I'm like, okay, this is hers. Let's get her hair growth one. But the protocol and the instructions were pretty clear, and as long as I stuck with those, and then yeah, it made the process pretty easy. That was one of the things that were a pretty easy thing to do. We set aside a day to do that wash day to do her regimen, and she already knew what it entailed. It was kind of a little lengthy, but she knew what it entailed, so she knew how to prepare herself for when it was wash day.
Yes.
But I absolutely love the products. I will continue to use, will pass when her hair grows past expectations, we'll still continue to use the products. I'm in love with them.
Yes. I worked very hard on those.
They're great.
Listen, years, I mean a decade behind the research and just reformulating. Like it took me so long to get where I am now with my products, and I'm very, very happy with them. I'm not gonna tweak not another thing. So anyway, let me ask this question. Did Nyla have any irritations on the scalp? Was she itchy? Did she have any sore spots, any oozing, bleeding, anything of that went on in her scalp before you started with me?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And so I want to know, how did you keep her hair up as you were going through the hair restoration journey? Because as everyone can see, the patches were big, and there was not really much that you can do with that. How were you styling her hair and keeping it from all the tension that I had coached you about of what not to do and what to do? What did you do, and how did you do it?
So with her hair being in the state that it was in, as you can tell, there wasn't much that I could do. So the hair that did not fall out, we were just covering those spots with the hair that was there. And of course, sometimes even ponytails is still kind of too much tension, but I was just covering those spots and putting it in loose ponytails, and then we would try to camouflage the spots with, what do you call it, the hair things.
Yes.
But we also used headbands and just different things to kind of camouflage the spots that we couldn't hide. But it was there wasn't really much to do. But as long for her insecurities came with the spots. She didn't want the kids to see her, her bald spots.
And tell me more about that.
She
said she was being bullied at school.
She was. So when she first started, there was one spot, and it was such a hard spot because you couldn't cover it. It was right at the top of the head. So I think one of the kids did spot it. So after that, she was so insecure, and she wore hats all the time. I think I remember a particular time we had went to an event and we went through the metal detectors, and she had to take off her hat. She did not want to take off her hat, and I'm like, nah, just take off the hat for a second and you can put it back on. But there was a lot of insecurities behind her hair loss, and so just camouflaging it, wearing hats and headbands and doing what we could. Her biggest thing was just so the children didn't see the spots.
Right. So one thing with alopecia areata, that's definitely an autoimmune response to what's going on in the body, because I've been doing this for about 15 years now, and because of my knowledge, I just know exactly how to address certain types of alopecia, because you don't just have alopecia, there's types of alopecia, right? And so because I didn't have any labs, I just knew specifically she had an immunity issue going on. So I addressed her immune system, and I addressed her endocrine system, which are the hormones. And then also we worked on removing some toxins. I knew specifically what types of toxins she was dealing with. And that's when, further on down the line, when we were going to run labs, I was going to do some functional testing to figure out what her pathology, to see specifically how I can hone in and target and specifically speed the process up. Speaking of speeding the process up, how long, if you paid attention, how long did it take for you to start seeing little vellus hairs grow in?
They were growing back, let's see, I would say towards the end of the program, I started seeing, and then even started seeing weight loss, especially a lot of weight loss, and then a lot of families like, oh wow, like Mama's like looking a lot smaller. So weight loss and the hair growing back, but towards the end of the program, I started seeing a lot of changes.
Absolutely. So with her program, she signed up and invested in a 2-month program. So by the end of 2 months, we started seeing results. Everyone's different. I never guarantee a specific time in seeing results, but because of what I know, you do see results very fast. You'll start to see vellus hairs before you start to get those terminal hairs. So vellus hairs are the baby hairs, the little fine hairs that you see before they turn into terminal, which are your forever hairs. I actually seen those within 6 weeks. So you guys continued on this journey after 2 months. I would say you guys got started July of last year, and this is now April 2nd. Mm-hmm. So help me do the math. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So it's been 10 months. 10 months since she started, and she has greatly filled in. I mean, just immaculate. Mom, did you feel like you were going to get these kind of results?
I didn't know what to expect. I was just going with the flow, honestly. So seeing the little hair growth, we knew that it was coming back, because along the process you did say, okay, we saw that some hair was growing back. I don't think I really thought that it was going to grow back as much as it did. Honestly, I still thought that there were going to be spots. A lot of those spots had filled in completely. Mm-hmm. I was surprised at that. I thought she still was going to have spots, but no, her hair growth has been amazing.
It's amazing.
Really, yeah.
And so during her journey, Nyla started to get another spot on the right side of her head. No, it was the left side.
Both.
Yeah, it started to get bigger. I don't know if you remember me telling you, but I said it's going to get bigger before it gets better. It's going to get worse before it always gets worse before it gets better. Even when you start with someone like myself, it's a process. It's an inflammatory process. It's all types of movement going on with the immune system, the gut. I mean, it's a lot of clearing. So of course, lots of things, just like when you detox, the bad comes out, you kind of maybe feel sick in the beginning, and then you get better. So same thing with hair loss. When you are restoring the hair with certain processes, sometimes, but not all the times, it falls out before it grows back in. And so I try to tell my clients that up front so they won't get discouraged, like, well, why is my hair getting worse? And then sometimes some people can get discouraged and then they just fall off. But you gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing. This is not a journey. This is not for the weak. You can't. I understand you come and you're already traumatized by the hair loss, and some people just want to give up. But if you can just stick it through. This process, this is a lifestyle. This kind of healing is a lifestyle. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about the lifestyle change. Is this something you will continue to do?
Knowing what I know, I think it was, for me, I thought it was best for me to kind of cater to my lifestyle, things that I thought would be workable for me. So like I said, I am continuing a lot of the things that I've learned, but I'm tweaking them a bit so that they can, so that I can kind of stay with them and doing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For the person that is like Nyla, for the person who is struggling chronically and trying X, Y, and Z, what would be your advice to them? What's your advice to someone who is struggling? And if they want to join my practice, join my program, or check me out, what would you encourage them to do, or what would your one piece of advice be?
Let's see. You have to be consistent. Like, try the program, take the first step and try the program and be consistent. Like, you will see results if you are consistent. If you follow the program, you will see results. The proof, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. I can say that, okay, we followed the steps, we did these things, we had these lifestyle changes, we had these coaching calls, but at the end of the program, the results were there. So take those steps, be consistent, and you will have the results that you intend with, I believe. And everyone is different, but for me, the journey has been life-changing, and it really allowed me to see firsthand how holistic medicine and can change your life and your health. So
Absolutely. I love it. So, Sansare, I have to ask you this. If you had to do this process all over again and invest all over again, would you do it?
yes, of course. It did exactly what it needed to do. And honestly, now that I have a lot more knowledge about her condition, because in the beginning I didn't know a thing. There were a lot of videos and a lot of things, downloadable things that I could download. And it also enticed me to go do more research for myself. So with all the information that I gained over the course of doing the program, absolutely, it'll be a breeze next time around.
Hey, absolutely. It's so much information out there on Google, Dr. Google, right? My advice to you guys is check out a professional, someone who specializes in what you're looking for, because it's an overwhelm of information, and then you get into this cycle of just Googling and researching and starting to add this, and this, and then your condition gets worse, or you're just not seeing any improvement. I highly advise that you will waste a lot of money that way. My advice to anyone struggling is to understand what your now is, what your past was, and how you got there. My approach, I take you all the way back to where it first started, and that's the missing piece. I ask so many questions. I have a process, and my process is very comprehensive. And it's for a reason. It's for a reason, because you have to be very serious when you work with me. But I want to thank you today so much for sitting down with me and having this conversation. You've done a wonderful job, Mom. Wonderful. You're my first mom in my program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're the first. Yes. Normally, I'm hands-on with all of my clients. Of course, I have a lot of other clients I work with out of town and virtually, and they get the results. But you're the first mom who has done this. I mean, you did this thing. You did this. Girl, I am so proud of you. Gosh, I'm so proud of you. It just goes to show you can do whatever.
Absolutely.
You can do whatever.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, this wraps it up. Alopecia areata, 9-year-old baby girl got all of her hair back. Functional medicine, functional nutrition, herbs, herbalism, lifestyle change, habit style change, all the changes. And she's going to continue with it. Have a good day.